and welcome to my book journey. Today I'm going to be talking about upcoming releases of books that are going to be coming out in the months of April, May, and June. So in the beginning of the year, or maybe even December, or maybe January, I can't remember when I actually did that video. I'll link it below. I did a video of upcoming books in 2026, but I only did January, February, and March because there were so many when I was going through them. I was like, this is too many. I'm just going to have to break it up. And so I'm ready for the next batch since we're in the month of March here. So April, May, and June. And I will do my best to let you know when these books come out. I think I put them in order of the month. So I'll do April's first, then May's, and then June's. But before I get started with that, I just wanted to just take a few minutes here in the beginning just to talk about something that, or just share something, a verse and something that a friend shared with me at church this morning, today's Sunday as I'm filming this. And we were talking about in our Sunday school class about just the things that are happening in our world today, big things with war and fighting, and then not only that, but in our own personal lives. And when it's like right in our midst, people that are ill, sicknesses, disease, sudden diseases that are happening to our loved ones, out of the blue, and having to, what do we do with that? And she told me a verse, not a verse, it wasn't a verse. She said, I saw this, I wrote it down, but I don't know who this quote is from. So I was like, tell me that again, because I thought it was really, especially with everything that's going on in our family right now, with just different things that are just things that came out of the blue, unexpected things, just life. And this, when she said this, I was like, I had to write this down. And it says, when you can't see the hand of God, trust the heart of God. So I'll say that again. Now, I think I'll put it up here too so you can read it. When you can't see the hand of God, trust the heart of God. And that's so true because, when things bad happen, you always question why. Why is this happening? Or what did I do to deserve this? Or what did I do wrong? Why is this happening? And why did this person, And it's all kind of goes to, when things just kind of just go together. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's The Atonement Child by Francine Rivers. And this is the first time I've read this book. And these kind of things, tragedy is happening in a person's life, and those questions are being asked. Why God? Why is this happening? Why did you allow this to happen? Just a horrible thing that happened to a young woman. And then even as I'm going further in the book, other family members, are thinking about their own lives and how they went through some kind of tragedy and how God got them through that. So I'm looking forward to this book. I'm almost towards the middle of the book. So I haven't seen, I'm still at the beginning when the tragedy is still fresh. And so I don't know how the characters are going to come through it. But as for us in real life, life is going to happen. There's sin in the world, and bad things happen. Our family members, get diagnosed horrible disease, and we feel like we can't do anything, but we can always pray, and prayer is the best weapon that we have against the things of this world. And so before I tell you about the book, so the reason you came to this video, I just wanted to share a verse. And I had it marked, but I pulled my bookmark out when I read that little quote. But I wanted to share this verse here. Here's a verse that I wanted to share with you all, and I will put it up here as well. It is from the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 16, that says, "Let us approach the throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." And that is something that I have to remind myself when things go bad, that God is there waiting for me. God is there ready to hear my prayer, and he wants us to cry out to him as we work through the situations that we find ourselves in. So I just hope that's an encouragement if you are going through any kind of just something bad in your life, a trial that's happening. Just know that God is there, and God is always there waiting for you to call upon him, and he is waiting for your prayers. Okay, so let's get to the books. Okay, and if I read right here, it's because I have my laptop here with the book. There's kind of like the descriptions, and I have a lot of books, so I'm not going to go through every single long description of the book. I'll say what the genre is and that kind of thing, and the author, and then all of the books will be up here. So we're going to start with the month of April, and the first one I have is one I just came upon yesterday, I think, and it's called A Deal with the Debutante. And so I just finished reading Edenbrook, so I'm like, I like this kind of Regency style book, and that's what this one is. This is a historical romance, a young adult Regency fiction, and it is by Chelsea Babalowski. I think that's her name. I love the cover, and it looks like it is part of a series. Book 1 of the London's Most Eligible is the series, and it's about an American heiress named Cantaloupe. Is it these names? Oh my goodness, Art. And she is being thrust into London's high society. So that sounds like a fun book for sure. Like I said, I just finished reading Edenbrook, and that is one I would love to read. The next one is by Lynn Austin, and she has a new book coming out in April as well. And Lynn Austin's book is called The Lumber Baron's Wife. This one is historical fiction, Christian fiction, has some mystery in it, and it is set in 1873. And I love that cover too. Talking about a young wife of a powerful lumber baron that vanishes. Oh, that's the mystery. Vanishes into the wilds of frontier Michigan. So that sounds like a good one. The next book I have is one that I had not, Arthur have not heard of before, Katie Powner. And this one's called Birds on a Wire. And this one is a contemporary book, and I just love the cover. It's kind of interesting with the birds there, and it's supposed to be about a story about family and foster care, and it is by a 2-time Christie Award-winning author, and so it's about foster care and family. So that a lot of people love to read those kind of stories, so that's a really interesting one. So there's that one that's also coming out in April. Another book coming out in April is called The Mountains We Call Home by Kim Michelle Richardson. This one is a historical fiction. It's books about books, American history. This has to do with, looks like it's a companion novel to the Book of Women of Troublesome Creek. That has to do with librarians, I believe, in Kentucky. So that'll be interesting. I do have that book, the Book Woman of Troublesome Creek. I do have that, I think, on my shelves, but I have not read that one. So that one does come out in April. And then another one that we have coming out in April is one by Jamie Jo Wright, and this one I really want to read. I just love this cover. Another one about books, evidently. Christian fiction, mystery. Her books usually have a mystery element to it, a gothic element to it. And this one's called The Bookshop of 99 Doors. And so this is a dual timeline, 1910 and present day. So that one comes out in April. Jane Kirkpatrick has a new one coming out in April called With the Enduring Tides. This one is a historical fiction, and this one is set in the early 1900s, talking about a group of women's lives when they intertwine through their shared pioneering spirit. And this one, let's see, where does it take place? The American West in the 20th century. So yeah, I love the cover of this one too. Kim Vogel Sawyer has a new book in April, and this one has like an orphan train element to it. So it's called Where We Belong, and this is about 4 lives that are going from Kansas to New York, on the train, the orphan train. And so this is Christian fiction, historical fiction, and I love orphan train stories. So I'm going to definitely going to keep my eye out for this one. Becca Kinzer has a book coming out in April called Not What We Pictured. I love her books. I've read quite a few of those. And so this one is another like a Christian fiction romance, contemporary romance, and it looks like it has to do with photographers, and her covers are always really cute. So I really love that one. Yeah, for photography. Then we have this interesting cover by Jessica R. Patch. She writes the really good thriller mysteries. I have yet to read one of her books. I really want to. There's a few that they're on my TBR to read. But she's got a new one called The Girl Upstairs, thriller mystery, but it's Christian fiction and it's psychological too. So yeah, that one sounds really good. So, and that one takes place in Cold Harbor, Maine. Another historical fiction, Christian fiction by author Melanie Dobson is The Lost Story of Via Bell. And this one it says it's searching for a story to adapt to film. An aspiring screenwriter becomes captivated by a classic best-selling novel and the mysterious disappearance of the woman who wrote it. So here's another one that has some mystery involved. And yeah, I love books about books and about authors. So that one looks really good. And I don't know if I've read anything by Melanie Dobson. Doesn't sound familiar to me, but yeah, that would be a good one to check out. Okay, and the last one I have down for April is from Jocelyn Green, and this is called The Manhattan Confession. This is a historical fiction, Christian fiction, and this has to do with a New York City Historical Society librarian and the Manhattan's rich history. So I really have loved her books. I think I've read one or two of hers, and this cover looks really great. So those are all the books that I have down. And of course, there's other books that are coming out in April, but these are just the ones that I kind of found and looked interesting to me. So let's move on to the month of May. The first one in May I have is a historical fiction, Christian fiction by Sarah Loudon Thomas, and this is called These Empty Places. And this one has to do with it says, Claire Roth sacrificed love for a life of comfort on Lake Toxaway. These names on these books sometimes. Until the dam broke and the lake washed down the side of the mountain. 14 years later, she longs to see the lake restored to its former glory, even as the country faces hard economic times on the eve of the Great Depression. So it is set in the Depression era, and that cover is really beautiful too as well. So Christian fiction, historical fiction. Now this one I just saw a couple days ago, and I thought, oh, this is really good, because this author I read one book by her and it was really great, and I want to keep trying to find some more books, and so I saw that she had a new one coming out. This one's called The Deep End of Love, and this is by Christina Suzanne Nelson. And there isn't really anything on Goodreads right now to tell me what it's about, but hers are usually like contemporary books that have like some deep stuff in it. So this one looks really good. Jamie Ogle has a new book coming out, and this one is like a biblical fiction, Christian fiction, and this one is set in Rome, AD 403, and this is about a loyal daughter of the Visigoth tribe, Eldegard, followed by her father to war, hoping to win back her family's approval. But after a clash with the Roman army, Adele is captured and sold to a gladiator school. Oh my. These covers by Jamie Ogle are so beautiful as well. So I don't know if these are like part of a series. I know she has several that are similar. It doesn't show it's part of a series. I think they're all different, but they're all biblical fiction books that she writes. And so that one looks really good. That one comes out in May. This one is a contemporary fiction mystery book called Both Can Be True, a novel, and this is by Jessica Guerrieri. I know I butchered her last name. And it says, when a local mother goes missing, two estranged sisters are pulled back into each other's lives and forced to control old wounds fractured trust, and the many ways a woman can disappear in plain sight. Wow. So yeah, that looks like a good little mystery book. It's got good ratings so far from people who have read it. So that is coming out in May. Then we have The River Muse by Laura Rissau, and this one is a fiction, but it's a magical realism. It says it's a tale of lost selves, age-old secrets, and how we can reclaim our truest voices through love, music, and the touch of magic. A French chateau, a forest with secrets, a magical spring. So that's what that has. I love the cover of this one too. Another historical fiction, and this one is Christian fiction as well, from Callie Murray, is The Brunswick. And this one is set in 1939 Georgia. And this is, let's see, it's about inspired, it says it's inspired by true events. In 1939 Georgia, far removed from the war brewing overseas, Cora Kane's world feels small and shrinking. There she runs the Brunswick, her family's once grand hotel, which is now struggling as the town's general store. So it's about set around an old grand hotel, set right before World War II. So that one sounds really interesting. And then in May, we have the next book in the Timeless series. It is book number 7, Into a Golden Era. And this one is set in like the time when they're, oh gosh, what is it called? The gold rush era, California gold rush. And then also the golden age of Hollywood. And this is by Gabriel Meyer. And I already have mine on, I pre-ordered it a while back, so I'm looking forward to when that comes in the mail in May. And it comes out in the beginning of May, so that I like that. Another historical fiction book that's coming out is called When No One Else Will. And this is another book that's set in 1939. In the fall of 1939, while Europe grapples with the outbreak of war, Mimi Lucas wages a private battle in her Chicago neighborhood. Her husband Stan, once a promising White Sox player, so baseball, has been sidelined by a broken leg. His hopes of returning to baseball are dwindling along with their savings. So pre-World War II book, have a little baseball sports thing in there, and then her probably trying to get support her family during those hard times. She looks like she's a nurse, so she has to go back into the nursing field. So it's got all kinds of things in that book. So that one's called When No One Else Will. Then we have a really fun one coming out from Pepper Basham called A Brood Awakening. This is a Christian fiction romance, contemporary, and has to do with a small town tea shop owner with a sweet tooth and a devil-may-care Englishman with more savory taste, and they join forces to cater a British theme wedding. And so this is sweet enemies to lovers, opposites attract. And it says it's perfect for fans of Emma St. Clair, which I love. So yeah, I definitely will like that. I did like her series that started with Authentically Izzy. So I know she can write a good rom-com. So a while back, at a thrift store, I picked up this book called Not Exactly Mr. Darcy. And this was a book 1 in the Silver Teapot series. And now the second one is coming out in May. And it's called Not Precisely Mr. Knightley. And this is they're by Carolyn Miller. And this is like a, Can a Matchmaker Find True Love? So it's an Emma, kind of like an Emma retelling. Whereas this one was the Pride and Prejudice retelling. And so I have read a book by Carolyn Miller a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. That one was like a sports rom-com. So these are a little different, but these are some cute little retellings of Jane Austen books. So really good if you're a Jane Austen fan. Okay, so we're moving on to June, and I don't have as many on that one, so I'm almost done. So the first one, for June is a Appalachian novel, and it's called The Eyes of a River. And I don't have too much on Goodreads right now describing it, but I love the cover, and I loved stories that are set in the Appalachian Mountains with the the people and the culture there is, those books are always so wonderful. So that one is coming out in June, at the end of June. So Gabrielle Meyer has another series that she's doing, and the series is called the Dollar Princess series. And her second book in that series, called To Dance with the Duke, is coming out in June. And this one is like a retelling too, and it's like for it has to do with 7 brides for 7 brothers. These are books that are retellings of musicals, if I remember right. And so this one is the next one in that series. This next book I am really looking forward to, because I love this author, Rudy Sepetys. She does historical fiction, but usually for young adult. This is going to be an adult historical fiction that she's doing, and it's like a gothic feel, a mystery feel, A Fortune of Sand. And it says the daughter of an automotive magnate escapes to an artistic retreat that holds more secrets and more intrigue than she could have ever imagined. This in this Prohibition era novel. So it's set in the Prohibition period, a mystery there, and again, I just love her books, and so I'm excited about this one. So this one comes out, oh, I'm sorry, this one comes out in May, and I have it in the wrong thing, sorry. So I apologize. So this one does come out at the end of May. This one, it comes out in June. I'm getting myself mixed up. The beginning of June. This is by The Music of Us, and it's like a sweet young adult romance. And it says a fun and flirty contemporary young adult novel between a cat cafe barista and a boy band pop star that hits all the right notes. So it says The Music of Us is a laugh out loud, friends to more romance, perfect for friends of Casey West, Beth Rickles, and Lynn Painter. I guess those are YA writers, right? YA authors. And so, yeah, the cover just looks really, really sweet. And the last one that I have here for the month of June is one I definitely want to read because I love this author. It's Courtney Walsh, and it's her latest one. It's called Brighter Than Before, contemporary romance. And her books are always clean, nice clean romances and fun. It says, in her 40s, newly single in the Windy City and reeling from a major life shakeup, Claire finds a reset in the most unlikely of places, a dating profile set up by her adult daughter. And so that's what that's about. Oh my goodness. So it's her adult daughter sets her mom up in a dating site. Okay, that's gonna be funny. So like I said, her books are always really, really good. All right, so those are all the books that I have for you, new releases that are coming out in the months of April, May, and June. And like I said, these are not all the books, of course, that are coming out in those months, but these were just ones that kind of caught my eye. Oh, I did want to mention this one. This one actually comes out in this month in March, but as I was looking through all these new releases, I saw it, and I was like, oh, I hadn't seen that one. So it wasn't on my last video, but it's another one by Pepper Basham, and this is a young adult book that she wrote, and it's out on March the 19th, and it's called The Cinderella Plot, and it's a young adult Christian fiction, clean romance rom-com. I just love the cover. It says Paisley Harper is invincible, not in a superpower way, more like a people look right through you in the hallway kind of way. She's the girl with an oversized cardigan, random book knowledge, and the uncanny ability to tutor the school star quarterback. So yeah, she's got another book coming out, or yeah, she's got quite a few books coming out, right? She's been busy. So this one, like I said, Cinderella Plot, comes out this month on the 19th. All right, so that's all of them for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and let me know in the comments below if you have or you know of any other books that are set to release in the months of April, May, and June that I have not put down here that you think I might be interested in. All right, thank you for hanging out with me today. You all, let's take